I'm the books editor for Hindustan Times, which is a large Indian newspaper in English. And I'm here today to read CP Surendran's poems. And well, he just happens to be my husband, but that's not that's not relevant to this. But what I'll do first is that I will read out a statement from him, and then the reason why he's not here is because there's been a sort of controversy around him. He's been accused of sexual harassment and has been kind of crucified without a trial. And as a result, there's been ostracism, basically, and cancelling of publishing contracts, which hasn't happened to him, but it's happened to other people, and stuff like that, which is like if you're standing for freedom of expression, which a lot of people who are gunning for him claim to be doing, this is exactly the opposite of freedom of expression. It's shutting a person down, not giving him any avenues for putting forth his views, for defending himself. And I find myself in a very strange situation where I'm a feminist, but I have to call out people for their vindictiveness, and be in this role of the good wife, which I'm kind of unaccustomed to, and it's the Bharatiya Nari role, which is absurd, But I'm doing it because I believe that this is wrong. What's happening is wrong, and people shouldn't be crucified for things. They should be allowed a platform. They should be allowed to state their views and not just thrown out. So let me read his statement first before I read his poetry, which is very good, incidentally, and I'm not saying it because I'm his partner. Thank you, Chair Poetry Festival, for having me represented here by my wife, Miss Manjula Narayan. It is an exceptionally brave and kind gesture under the circumstances. I am become that dread thing, a hashtag, the wonder weapon of the drawing room mob that obliterates the good in your past and guarantees you a future in negative Google searches. In an environment addicted to hate, when even an open newsroom discussion is taken out of context and deprived of agency, there will be no shades through life. Shades, though life is nothing if not grey. In the last 6 weeks or so, there has been a systematic and motivated campaign to stigmatize me. The trial is far from being over, though the sentence itself has been effective from day one. Petitions have been signed to boycott me. Letters and emails have gone to publishing houses not to print my books. Festival committees have been besieged. It was Gabriel Garcia Marquez who said, "It is not what happens in your life, but how you remember it. And you remember things for a purpose. In this instance, it is revenge. An extrajudicial process that not just maligns you, but also chokes your lifelines. In the process, willingly or not, publishing houses, festivals, and other such avenues are persuaded to function like penitentiaries and reformatories. The moral policing implicit in this movement makes it no different in essence from other fundamentalist right-wing avatars. Which other movement denies its casualties of basic rights by preempting platforms of free speech and livelihood and still passes off itself as liberal? My fellow writers and journalists, whose trade is dependent on their spine and singular thinking, have been muzzled, their thoughts censored, morally terrorized into silence by this frenzy. But is that enough? I urge my detractors not to stop there. They should take their select list of licentious poets and writers and lynch them in market squares. Incorrect writers like D.H. Lawrence, Oscar Wilde, George Orwell are likely to shake their heads. Are we judging writers or writing? So that's his statement. Oh, there's a bit more. Gore Vidal famously said, art is against democracy. He means the arts are the haunt of the lone voices. This message is not a plea in self-defense. I am no scented saint. These are the points I would raise in relation to any other person in the same situation, and there are many, if I were freely writing. Thank you for hearing me out, and have a great day at the Chair Poetry Festival. So that's CP Surendran, and now I will read his poetry. The first poem is actually about an incident, which is the rape of a girl at Shakti Mills in Bombay. And the reason why we chose it is because among the many things that have been going on online, various people have been saying, oh, he is giving a free pass to such and such a rapist, and oh, he made fun of the Shakti Mills rape, things like that, which are completely untrue. So here it is. So this is on the Shakti Mills rape, actually. It's called Shakti Mills. Is that background music? Okay. The sun darkens stone. The moon is crazed. The moon is a crazed, broken polygon. A fissure in the earth reveals a cave, emptied of reptilian death. Here you went down on your knees, begging for a godsend. The night spreads its hood. The sky brims with eyes. Here you were taken, crushing grass, grounding glass. The wind gathered your rags, hung them on trees, bled. Here you were born again and again. The air kissed your face, fled. I wish he had been here to read it, because he's got a very distinct accent, and it's different from mine, so it just sounds better in his words, but sadly, I have to be the one to read it. The next one is Signature. It's called Signature. Just faced my mother. Her hands pick their aerial way through dire states of mind. The agonies of taking care of children who return prodigally from vocations. Her fingers are in curlers. They roll, preen, and puff the air, lead a word into an abandon of tears. Forever in motion, her hands have no limits, nor remember the courtesy knock before a door is open. Free hands flying farthest from gravity, into high theatre where all words bow down, to the strung solidity of gestures of the oracular art of nerves. Hands that discern disasters for falling up like storm clouds horizons away, whose certain coming she lets you know by conjuring from sideboards a crushed trail of broken glass. Like the mute, my mother counts the sinners and saints of the house. On her fingertips, the air around her, bruised by signs of love. That's Signature. Here's a couple. Waiting in places from where people hurry to exit. For her aging mate, equally out of shape. The pocket flaps are worn to a thread. The zippers are halfway down. The mouth gapes like a sack undone. One strap lags, an arm that suffered a stroke. The wheels drag. Almost everything's more than she can contain. I watch my bag go past me thrice before I take grip of her by the belly, and we resume life, man and wife. I don't know, he's marked out quite a few, but maybe I'll read all of them. Jukebox in Kolkata. Kolkata is a place in Bombay. It's actually the district where I grew up, so this is familiar to me. Jukebox in Kolkata. Hammer this day into your heart. Step out into the unearthly place, milling with unjustified absences. Spinning children worn to the skin around the sun, make pain anew like Christ. They press their lips, a scar stamped on the glass of stranded cars. The junkies sleepwalk, the collapsed bridges in pools of piss. The gents in their suits empty like tins in the gentle rain. The cattle with their painted horns accuse you from the back of a truck. Near Cafe Mondegar, they let the tailboard down. And you wonder if the sky was drunk. Listen as you're drawn to a vice. They're playing Mama Son Tanto Feliz. Time to dance on the ashes. Your steps are slow, your eyes are soot. You grind your friends underfoot. Do you want me to go on or should I? Maybe we can cut the interview. What does the audience say? Do you want me to read more or should I?
Yeah, please read more, please.
Thank you. This is Available Light, which is new and collected poems. That's the name of the book. Ilse Koch was the wife of the commandant of the Buchenwald concentration camp. She was cruel and apparently partial to tattooed human bodies. Ilse, how we come back unerringly to ourselves for others' sufferings. In Buchenwald, the men wore their skin like bangles over their bones, and some were hanged so that their skin wouldn't break. The sun was blindfolded by wire from their gaze. Flayed for flesh in a moment's cannon flash. The tattooed dead you saw lit the living room to the desired glow wrapped around a lamp. Or filtered like lace, the cattle cars and smoke, falling blows, the children rubbing their eyes, and boots growing tall like turrets in the snow. And softened too the one-way tracks, like a cross-stitch of steel gleaming in the heart of things. The twisted sign of millions bent on common design. The gas, fatigues, transport and tanks, the iron nuts and bolts of the human fate. It takes many, they'll say, and a lot to keep your room just the way you want. Put all else to shade. Often what power does to desire is the same. Often what power does to desire is the same as what desire does to power. It dims the sight to available light, so the others flatten formless to a uniform dark beyond the rim of your lamp, their cries faint as emission from the farthest stars. Okay, I think that should be enough.
Thank you. You just said about the whole hashtag #MeToo movement. So, with regard to this, you're a literary editor. So, you have gone through many manuscripts. So, my two questions are, what are the differences, key differences you think are there between Indian writing and international writing? And what do you think about the character development, especially the women-oriented books of the Indian authors?
Well, that's a very large question. I mean, and let me say right off, before everybody starts jumping up, about the Me Too movement. I believe completely in it, and sexual harassment is not to be taken lightly. Having said that, there are people who are using it for other ends, and I don't approve of that. So let's move on to the question of Indian and international writing. It's very huge, and it's a very huge question, which it's almost a paper for a dissertation. So I can't really. But Well, each culture has its, we have so many languages. We have, we're so rich in languages. Just this nation itself, and from this, when yesterday all the poets were reading in their own languages, I just found that though I couldn't understand the language, I can't understand Dutch, I can't understand French, even though I did French in school in this very bad way. But the sound of the languages is so lovely in the original. And like somebody said, the English is so prosaic, And you think, oh my God, I wish I could know. But there's so many languages and you can't possibly know all of them. And each of them represent a culture. Now the thing with Indian English writing, like, Mr. Shokar said yesterday, bastard English that we speak, and we do speak a bastard English, which has a life of its own, and is evolving, though since it's like supposedly the elite who speaks English. But we've lost our moorings. I mean, if you speak to Atish Taseer, if you read his new book, which is on Banaras, and he deals with that. And it's lovely the way he deals with it. And it's true that there's a cultural disconnect if you lose your mother tongue. So in that sense, Indian English writing is sort of unmoored, and it's very rarely that you find that it's as good as the stuff that comes out, or as authentic as the stuff that comes out in our regional languages. We just don't react to it in that sort of primal way. But we will soon. I mean, when a good piece of writing comes out, you immediately think, oh my God, who is this genius? So that's a thing. And if you talk about men and women writing, good writing is good writing. It's beyond gender. Like it's good or it's bad.
Thank you so much, Ms. Narayan. It's a pleasure having you.